see if we can upgrade some of the facilities and make the facilities more accessible, but giving due regard to its handling capacity. So I think that's the overall sentiment of the development. For the southern part of Lantau is to preserve it, focusing on conservation, but do we have certain areas that we can upgrade so that people, the general public, can access in a safer manner and it's more convenient? And that's what we're looking at. Once again, some groups are very concerned. They worry that there will be it will affect the biodiversity of the area. So I think we need to look at the numbers and do it in a scientific manner so that we can better make use of these different areas, but in a manner that will balance the overall desire of the Hong Kong general public in terms of accessibility, but also preserve the biodiversity of that area. So that's the overall theme in terms of Lantau development. 80% of Lantau will be focusing on conservation with some green tourism element. And in terms of economic and housing development, it will be Tung Chung, the northern side of Lantau. So I think it can be a very holistic development, balancing the objectives of housing, economics, as well as conservation.
Some of them have a concern about the development and the environment. Like what you said earlier, there will be a balance in between them. Like white dolphins, they take it for example. If you have a certain kind of construction going on over there, like Zhuhai and Macau Bridge, and you have the construct, and then you destroy the environment first, and after that you build the marine park to preserve them, and will it be too late because you have already destroyed the area, and all the things that you try to do afterwards is like trying to make it up, but some of the white dolphins area or their natural habitats may be already being destroyed. So how can it, like balance, like what you said earlier?
So it takes the parties to come together and tackle the problem scientifically, and then we can come up with a holistic way forward. So the example is what you asked earlier on. There are villagers who are asking for the basic in terms of upgrade in accessibility, but then how can their needs be met, balancing the concerns of the environmental groups? So that's a typical example where you have conflicting objectives. But so how can the environmentalists come together with the villagers, and come up with a plan of upgrading the transportation accessibility for the villagers? I don't see that yet. So I think it would be good if the groups can come together, scientifically solve the problem overall. So that same philosophy applies to whether it's the marine park or other parts of Lantau. It's really for parties to come together instead of just focusing on one aspect of the development, whether it's the green aspect or just the housing aspect or just the transportation. The different aspects need to come together. The different stakeholders need to come together in order to come up with a most optimal solution. It's not either or. It's both. It's balancing the interests of the different stakeholders.
Do you think that there is no mutual consent among all the parties is because the alliance or the committee is consisted of mainly professionals in the business sector? So the other parties' voice are not being heard?
I think with any topic, there needs to be diversity of views, and it's healthy. Within the Lantau Development Advisory Committee, we've gone through 2 years of debate in order to come up what we believe to be the foundation of balancing the different interests. I think that's what myself, as part of the committee, we try to establish. So already we went through the 2 years of a lot of meetings, a lot of research, and we use consultants to try to come up with what we believe tackling Lantau overall development, balancing both social development, economic, etc., etc. So it took a lot of debate. Yeah, could we